everyone, welcome back to Chinmoy's YouTube channel. Now today we are back with sample question papers on reproductive system. I have already posted many question papers. Please go through them. If you have not gone through them yet, go through them systematically, each lesson wise, each chapter wise. I have posted sample question papers, and it is very important for you to go through them, as I have gone through many years question papers and tried to make a sample paper for your good revision for ICSE 2023. So please go through it, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. So let us start with today's sample question paper of reproductive system. Now see the first question. Give the technical term and function for the following. Now the first one is the thin-walled sac that covers the testes. So what is it called technically? It is called the scrotum. So it is called the scrotum or the scrotal sac. So first we are telling the technical term, then we will come to the function. Okay, the next one is the sperm duct, that is technically called the vas deferens. Now what is the function of this scrotal sac or scrotum? Now we all know that the scrotum is a sac of skin that hangs from the body at the front of the pelvis and between the legs. Now it sits next to the upper thighs just below the penis, and the scrotum contains the testicle. These are two oval shaped glands responsible for producing and storing the sperm. So these are the testicles. They also produce several hormones, and the main one being the testosterone. So the scrotum is hanging outside the body and it is holding the testicles within it. Is it okay? So this is the function of this thin walled sac of skin that covers the testes. Now the next one is the function of the vas deferens. Now the vas deferens, it transports the mature sperm. Now if you try to recall the structure or the diagram of the male reproductive system, you will get that it is transporting the mature sperm to the urethra, and that is the tube that carries the urine or the sperm outside the body. Now it is also preparing for the in preparation of ejaculation. So it is transporting the mature sperm to the urethra and the tube that carries urine or sperm to outside of the body in the preparation for the ejaculation. Okay, is it clear? So this is all about the technical term as well as the function of this two. Now let us move on to the next one. Now here comes the second page of question. So now here is what is sexual reproduction and what are the essential features of sexual reproduction. So this is a very common question. You all know that sexual reproduction is a type of reproduction where both the sexes, male and female, are involved. And what are its essential features? Like gamete formation and fertilization takes place. The whole process is very slow and lengthy. The variation occurs, offsprings are different from parents and genetically and physically. So how the parents look, they might be a mixture of both the parents, or they might be different from the parents genetically as well as physically. So these are the main essential features of sexual reproduction. Now the next question, see, mention the two functions of the amniotic fluid. So the amniotic fluid, what is the function of that? Now it helps as a shock absorber. It helps to protect the embryo from the damage. So these are the main two functions of amniotic fluid. So if you have studied it, it's well and good. If you have not yet studied this, please go through them so that you can just write in your answer paper what are the main functions of the amniotic fluid. Whatever book or answer book or revision copy you have made for this biology, make a note of all these questions. These are very important, so write it down. So what are the signs of puberty? The next question is, what are the signs of puberty in human males and females? Now actually, what is puberty? We should know that first, right? The puberty is during adolescence, in which the body is attaining maturity. That is the puberty stage of puberty, when the body starts attaining maturity. Now puberty tends to be reached early in females than boys. So in males, the sexual maturity is attained at an age of almost 13 to 14 years. Okay, so it is attained at the age of 13 to 14 years. While in females, we can say it is early, and so it can be 12 to 13 years. Now, what happens during sexual maturity? The hormonal changes take place in males and females. So under the hormonal influence, the secondary sexual characters arise. So the changes during puberty will be the secretion of more testosterone, a hormone secreted from the testes in male. And these include what? In male, the changes will be the deepening of the voice change will be happening. The shoulders will be appearing broad. There will be appearance of beard and mustache, and there will be a growth in axillary and pubic hair. These are the main signs of puberty in male. Okay, and there will be always an external, the external genital organs will be enlarged, and this formation of sperm starts during this puberty age. Now next we can say the secondary sexual characters of female. What are they? They are the same. One thing is the growth of axillary and pubic hair, the widening of the pelvis region and the hip, the enlargement of the breasts, and the onset of menstrual cycle. So these are the signs of puberty in males and females. Okay, is it clear? So let us move on to the next question. Define the 4 stages of uterine cycle. So what is uterine cycle? This is same as menstrual cycle. So it is the menstrual cycle only. So we all know the 4 stages of menstrual cycle are: first it starts with menstrual cycle. First is follicular phase, then is the ovulatory phase, and then is the luteal phase. Now mention the surgical methods of contraception in human males. So what is the surgical method of contraception? Here we know that it is vasectomy, and this one is tubectomy. Now few questions which are related to reproductive system, which are coming from the chapter of population and all. So I've included them in this lesson itself because they are mostly related to the reproductive system part. So it will be easier for you to grasp the meaning or the learn this processes here only when you are studying the reproductive system. So these are actually the lesson is population, problems and controls, but I have included the questions in this lesson itself because these are very important part which will be related to the male and female reproductive system only. So let us move on to the next one. Now here comes another question that give the biological explanation for the following. The placenta is the important structure of for the development of the fetus. So how we can logically explain this? Now what is the function of the placenta? Actually the placenta helps the embryo to absorb the nutrients from the mother's blood. The placenta has a number of villi on the embryo side and the blood spaces on the mother's side. So what is the function? The villi has a vast surface area which aids in the transport of nourishment and oxygen from the mother to the fetus through blood. And waste substances which are produced in the embryo, they are eliminated to the mother's blood via the placenta. So this placenta is having a very important role in the development of the fetus. So as it is absorbing the nutrients from the mother's blood and transporting it to the embryo, it is carrying oxygen also from the mother to the fetus. These all are helping in the development. In the other hand, it is carrying the waste products from the fetus to the mother's blood so that it can be excreted properly. So these all are very important for the growth and development of a fetus. Now let us move on to the next one. Now here comes name the various organs of male reproductive system. This you all know. Please write it down. If you just see the number, if it is of 3 or 4 marks, name the various organs of male reproductive system, then you should draw, write and label its parts. Okay, you should draw the male reproductive system and you should name the organs and you should label it. And if it is of 1 mark only, you just write the answer. So you write the main parts of the various organs of the male reproductive system. This is write on your own. You will be writing on your own. Okay, so write it on your own. So let us move on to the next part. Now here see, when the ovum gets fertilized, the menstrual cycle stops temporarily in women. What is the reason? So we should give reason for the following. So give reason. So the menstrual cycle occurs due to the rupture and the shedding of the endometrium. We all know that how it is having the menstrual cycle. So it is the shedding of the endometrium lining of the uterus. So when the ovum gets fertilized, what happens? The endometrium gets thickened. So this is the thing, and vascularized to house the embryo. To house the embryo means to keep the embryo protected. The endometrium gets thickened. So during the whole term, like 10 months, when the embryo or the fetus is in the uterus, the menstrual cycle stops temporarily. So as soon as the delivery happens, immediately after the delivery, the menstrual cycle starts. First, the placenta is being removed from the mother's body. Then, after 1 month, the menstrual cycle, the normal menstrual cycle starts. So, is it clear? So, as the endometrium gets thickened and vascularized to house the embryo, so during the whole term, the embryo fetus is when it is in the uterus, the menstrual cycle stops. Now, this question is quite a repetition of the previous one. We have told one question that how the placenta is important for the development of the fetus in the previous slide. So this is same thing, only the two functions of the placenta. You can see the gaseous exchange of oxygen, what fetus is acquiring nourishment, aids in the regulation of fetus's body temperature and removal of wastes. So same repetition of the previous question. So let us move on to the next one. Now here we are seeing the differentiate between amnion and chorion on the basis of their function. So amnion and chorion are the two different types of membrane we all know that surrounds the embryo in the womb. Okay, so these are two different types of membrane. So amnion is a thin transparent membrane that encloses the embryo and is filled with a fluid, whereas chorion is the thicker and opaque membrane that covers the amnion and is lined with blood vessels. So if you just close your eyes and just try to recall the amniotic sac and the full matured fetus inside it, you will find that the upper layer is amnion, which is covering the fetus, and above that is the chorion, the thicker layer opaque membrane, and that is covering the amnion and is lined with blood vessels. So as there are many questions in reproductive system, I'll bring with part 2. This is the part 1. This I'm ending now only, and I'm putting the link above of all different sample question papers, as well as I have given some objectives also, some diagrams also. Please do go through it, and I'll be bringing the part 2 of reproductive system very soon. Okay, thank you.